We're here with Kathleen Purdy, who's a candidate for the State Board of Education, District 8. It's a vacancy this time. The incumbent, I understand, is term limited out.
You understand correctly.
And in your comments during the Q&A session, you're a 26-year teacher in the Plains School
Retired
system,
teacher,
right?
Yes.
And been retired for a number of years?
4 years.
4 years. And what have you been doing in education since you retired?
I haven't stopped, Martin, because I still have a passion for education and for learning. I have been involved in the Ohio Education Association. I sit on the advisory council, so several times a year I still travel down to Columbus. I represent over 9,000 retired teachers at the state level. I also am very involved in activities over in Alliance. I was just asked to be part of a bond issue awareness committee for our local school, our local Rotman Public Library. They receive 40% of their funding because of the cuts, the state cuts in their funding. 40% will come from the voters. I've also been involved in the Roland Purdy Memorial Scholarship Fund, based after my husband, who had spent a number of years at Burlington as a track coach, succumbed after an 11-month battle to leukemia, and the softball team would hold tournaments on his behalf, and we were able to assist with financing 3 students through medical programs and 2 others through another program, and right now we have one going through an art program at the university level.
So home is Alliance, is that correct?
Home is Alliance, born and raised in Alliance. I'm one of 7 children. I'm number 5 in the pecking order, if you want to call it that. Have tremendous support from my family, and I have 2 children, 2 adult children, and my 8-year-old grandson.
What prompted you to decide to run for State Board of Education?
Well, back in high school, I was elected president during my senior year, as well as my junior year in the business office education program. And I was a journalism major, both in high school as well as college. And I've always had a passion for looking at where differences can be made and improvements could be made. My father said, you know, Kathleen, it's a great big world out there. Find some little part of it and take care of it. But oftentimes I realize too much is given, much is required. And with all of my education, my experience, leadership positions, I need to make sure that my voice is there on behalf of students and parents in the community.
Do you think that the State Board of Education looks out for all students in Ohio, no matter what their station in life is?
I'm not sure. That's a very good question. About 5-6 years ago, no one even targeted State Board of Education members. No one even knew much about the composition of how that board operated until they required background and fingerprinting obligations on teachers, and we had to pay for that out of pocket. That's when the Ohio Education Association turned their focus on those members on that board, and that came out of a lot of problems that some teachers were actually molesting children and were able to move from district to district and continuously molest children for decades. And so then it was required that we need to have some criminal background checks and fingerprinting. But they wanted it done within 6 weeks.
I see.
Yes, it was 6 weeks, so it was more like now there's an awareness.
Well, Kathleen Purdy gets elected, serves 4 years on the State Board of Education, and you're back at this forum 4 years from now. What do you hope to tell the folks who are assembled in 4 years that Kathleen Purdy has been able to achieve in Columbus?
I hope that a lot of the people that will be here will know who their district rep is. Some years ago in 1999, I was elected vice president of our district teachers association, covering Martin's 6 counties. And my president quit. It was just too much. Tried to work with teachers. and I took it over for a year, and then I was reelected 3 more terms until I was term limited. During that time, they were able to say, Kathleen put policies in place, so we stopped those people that were just making laws, or policies rather, but not enforcing them, and it was just to benefit themselves. Can you imagine that? And so today people tell me about the successes only because I was district president. They don't know how many times, though, I really got to think, am I really making a difference? I recently was honored to receive the Leader of Distinction from that district, East Central Ohio Education Association. So I believe I did make a difference. Hopefully 4 years from now, there will be people in this audience that will say, I voted for you, or I didn't vote for you, but I will vote now for your reelection.
Okay, for the final part of the interview, let me give you an opportunity, just open-ended. You select what you want to tell the voters out there as to why the voters should vote for Kathleen Purdy.
I'm the most qualified. I'm the only candidate out of the candidates running for District 8 State Board of Education that I've been in the classroom, and I've been a leader within the teachers, and I know the issues, and I know we keep seeing charter schools, but the reality is school choice is here. Parents are always their first responsibility is to their child, regardless of how that child is educated. And when we start thinking in terms of the children that's going to be here representing you and I 40 years from now, I don't believe either one of us will be here, but someone that may have had a school choice education or experience, maybe behind the camera or in front of the camera right now. We have to make a difference with those children. We have to stop these power seekers, permanent office holders that are shortchanging our children. You don't spend 28 years in the state legislature, and then come out and say, well, I'm ready to try something else. I'm going to go after those state laws. Well, you've had time to do that. You have to be a traumatologist for children, meaning a level 1 trauma center. You can't quit on children, and they won't quit on you.